What I would encourage Kenyans is if they can think, like, don't just throw everything into the septic. Because I think when you have some empty bottle of chemical or something, people just think dump it into the drainage and it goes to the septic. We need to separate them so that if we were to recycle and we had different bins, it would be easy to pick this bin is for plastic waste and take it to a plastic recycling.
Yeah, exactly.
This is water, sewage with fecal matter only comes to our system, and we are able to get everything back to clean water.
Hey, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a conversation with an amazing woman. She's engineer Lucy Mutinda. And if you caught the first part of our conversation, you had several aha moments. So literally, I know your pulse rate is like, and then. Mine was still the fact that you understand that something must be done. You come back, you venture into it. And I always say what you're seeking is seeking you. And in Shapai say, twende.
Yes.
And you teared up because when the
American engineer
came in to sign off,
yeah,
he said 99%. There's only one thing, 1% he needed to tweak.
Yes,
I'm so happy for you. But here's a question: if you and I went for coffee and I needed to introduce you, even if it was to my regular waitress at Java, I'd say she knows who I am. I'm like, this is Engineer Lucy. Just tell her what you do. And what do you normally say?
So I turn sewage back to clean water.
I like how simple that is.
Yeah.
And I was serious when I said this, and I think you agree with me, that, as the planet, continues to be heavily burdened with how we are as human beings, conflict will take on a different sort of texture.
Yes.
And I do believe it will be over resources. And I think the first one will be water.
Exactly, because water is life.
It is.
Yeah.
Everything else will spring from water.
Yes.
So, okay, Shapai is big, they take you on. What's the next project like? And what has rollout been like? Because I get what you do, and I'm about to ask you questions as basic as, should I introduce you to the team at Gem Streets to find out what they do with their, you told me,
wastewater?
Yes, not sewage.
Which is a technical term. Yeah. So we finished Shapai. And again, there was this something burning in me. So again,
is there anybody else who does what you do?
Yes, exactly, and that's where I'm getting to.
Okay.
So after the American technology, I didn't last long. After the Shapai project, I was poached by the next company called BioBox. BioBox happened to be the first company that started doing this in Kenya. They had actually been there before this American technology coming in,
yes,
since 07.
Oh, right.
They were doing a South African technology. So I think they heard about us at Shapai, they heard about me, and they reached out to me. And I went to BioBox because they had a better pay and they had a bigger portfolio of projects, and I felt I might be more challenged. So there we did about 30, 50 projects, and before long again, I moved on to ExCloosive. I'm sure you know ExCloosive.
Yes.
Because your sister was a director there.
Yes.
So ExCloosive had been doing mobile toilets.
Talking about Moses Nderitu's ExCloosives, and my late sister and Moses have been partners since Pickabox.
Omo Pickabox.
Because he was her producer.
So Moses also wanted to venture, as he did his portable toilets. A lot of people would ask him if he does anything to do with sewage. So I think his exposure out in America had also shown him this technology. So he spoke to me one time, approached me and said he has also been thinking of rolling out the same. So he approached me to go and start the wastewater department at ExCloosive. And so he already had an American technology that they had been talking to him called Nowico, so that he could become their local distributor.
All right.
And so again, because I'm excited, new things, bigger things, and I was young and restless maybe, but the passion that was driving me is not restlessness, but getting to get as much experience and get this thing right. So again, I signed up a better pay, a better position. And for me, why I loved this one for Moses, I was going to start it from scratch.
Okay.
It's not, there was nobody above me. I was going to be the engineer, set up the department, select which technology works best for Kenya and roll it out. So I went to ExCloosive, that was 2011, and I worked with him up to 2013. And for that period, we did about, I think, was it 15 or 20 projects, homes, apartments in Rongai and stuff. American technology, but still I had my contacts of my Germans.
Yes.
I was talking
Where it
to
all
them.
began.
So at one point, I convinced Moses to also try the German technology. So between 2011 and 2013, we did about 5 pilots using the German technology. And for me, it excited me more than the American technology, because there's a way it's robust, smarter, it doesn't consume a lot of electricity, and there was something about it. Even when you look at German cars versus American cars, I'm not being biased.
No.
They're big on quantity, on consumption, but the Germans are a bit precise and lower. So I was still very inclined to the German technology, and the fact that I'm still a German ambassador of technology and I need to give back, maybe using German knowledge and stuff. So somewhere in 2013, towards the end, I started feeling, I think I'm ready. Something kept telling me, I think, Lucy, you can do this on your own. You've set up a department here. You did an Ashipa, it was successful. At BioBox, you did a few systems, they were successful. Something started telling me, this is the time, you can do this on your own. And the compliments from my clients every time we did a project, because they didn't even need to deal with Moses. They were fine with me. I would do it perfectly. Like, really, they didn't have to reach out to anyone else. So I had that burning desire. Now, this is the time. So one time in 2014, I'm just sitting, I design a logo using PowerPoint. And that moment in time, I tell my husband, I think this is the time, I think I'm leaving. And I communicate to Moses, and he's wondering, what am I going to do?
Yes.
And so I'm going to continue with the same thing, but now on my own. And being an entrepreneur, I'm sure it was difficult, but he just has to let me go, because maybe he had seen that's my passion. So in 2014, I remember designing my logo, which is the current EcoCycle logo.
The one I have on
using PowerPoint, but then I would forward it to a designer to do it.
To clean it up.
Yes. And then I forward the same to the Germans, and I say, I think I'm ready now, and I've even gotten the company name, and this is the draft logo. And the guy called me and said, he said, I have actually been thinking you can do this.
Oh, wow.
So you can do this. I love the logo. It's already good.
Let's go.
You just need to give it to a designer to polish it, and let's do this. When do you need your dealership appointment letter?
No.
It came in within a week.
No.
And so on the 10th of March 2014, EcoCycle Limited was registered.
Oh my goodness.
Founded by me and designed by me, but later polished, and I was ready to go. And my last email that I wrote to my customers, of which most of them were technical consultants providing this for their customers, all of them again said, we always know you can do this. So we are proud of you. Go do well.
One of those of what took you so long?
Send us your quotation, you know, like, yeah, like the portfolio that I had been building and the name that I had been building, unknowingly, I didn't know it was going to build my business. So again, as people dream of what they want to do, wherever you are, try to just be excellent, to be good, not just do something saying, oh, here, I'm just here, I will go to my place.
Oh, yes.
How excellently you execute wherever you are, whether you're an employee or doing whatever.
Is your track record.
Is your track record, and it's your network. And nowadays, I tell people you can start a business with a network. That takes me to the next point. I didn't have capital, by the way.
Oh.
We were actually experiencing financial issues at that point in time. I didn't have like a huge capital of millions to set up EcoCycle. What I had was a network of consultants who had worked for me, and they recommended my first 5 projects. And so what I did, I asked those clients to make their down payments so that I'm able to order the parts from Germany and roll out for them. And the extra that I got is what I used to set up the computer, the office, pay the licenses, and that's how it took off. So for me, network right now, I think is an asset more than the cash.
A lot of people say your network is your net worth, and you're proving that.
Yes.
You're proving that.
So your network plus your excellent track record.
Yes. And excellence is a habit.
Yes, it's a habit, perfection, the German thing. Again, I was born as a perfection, and then I went to Germany, and then now it was professionally instilled in me.
Yes.
Growing up with the boys, I was always the one saying, oh, you're making the table untidy. I would go to their bedrooms and perfect after they've made. So my mom always thought I was a perfectionist, always rearranging things in the living room. So now when I went to Germany, it was instilled in a professional way. Time management. How do you document your stuff? You know, they do everything. Like if you're doing a project, everything is documented.
Of course.
Not the way contractors have things in their head. If you're hit by a car tomorrow and you're not in the office, how does the work continue? Documentation.
Yes.
It's a very critical thing that nobody thinks about. How you keep your things so that we can go on. So that perfection and excellent track record, and the biggest of all, integrity. Like I'm not very big on being given a job because I will pay something.
Okay.
I like to use, in fact, if today you want my system as Carol, what I want to do is I want to take you to a home where we have fixed that system. You look on your own and you speak to the customer.
Okay.
Without me coercing you to do anything.
Okay.
So I want my work, my excellency, and my integrity to speak for itself and see how far the business can go. Because a lot of times we are told...
This is important to me now.
Yeah.
So we heard Inisha Pai, we've heard exclusives. Tell me how you work with a home.
Yes.
Yes. So what happens exactly?
So
we're still sitting here saying she does what? She takes wastewater and turns it into reusable water that we can use to water our grass, our plants, wash our cars, clean the pavement. Yes.
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 So in your home, when your home is built, you can either be connected to municipal sewer or you can have a septic tank. So what happens, you will see things called manholes in your compound. Maybe people don't even know what they are, but those are the holes and the pipework that collects water from your bathroom, from your toilets, from your kitchen, and keeps connecting it, joining until finally you have a final pipe delivering it either to the municipal sewer or to your septic tank.
Yes.
Now, municipal sewer only covers about 30% of Kenya.
I thought so.
So where does 70% go? It either goes to those septics or people just let it out. If you go to Rongai, you will see sewage literally being let out onto the road. So, first of all, we have a challenge of the available municipal sewer, serving only 30%. And even the sewer system in Dandora is not at its optimal.
No,
so still, it's not generating clean water. It needs to be worked on. So these 70% are my target. This one's connecting the sewer to the septic.
Yeah.
Because again, what they have to do is after some months, they have to call the honeysuckers.
Yeah, the honeysuckers.
You see them at Dagoretti.
Yes,
and that's a cost. Like they will suck. And again, the honeysucker, we can't guarantee it will take to Dandora.
Yes, they will probably just...
One time we saw a picture on the bypass. They just opened and let it free on the bypass. So when we say we are turning sewage to clean water, we are taking this wastewater or sewage that is in your septic tank, installing a machine using, I don't want to go very technical, but we do something called aeration. Like we blow in oxygen. We don't put chemicals. It's biological. You give oxygen to the organisms. They break down the fecal matter.
Yes.
They give you water and CO2. Purely chemical and biological without adding chemicals.
Yes.
Just running on very little electricity. So from that, you get your clean water that you can go back and pour on the grass. You can flush your toilets because it's clear. If put in that bottle, is clear, it's sparkling,
clear, yes.
odorless. But still, as it's being pumped out, we can pass it through a bit of chlorine to make sure the E. coli is nil as dead, people are handling. Now, the challenge we have is sometimes people throw everything and anything into the septic tanks.
There you go. From diapers to wipes to what? You
will find a glass, you will find a phone case, anything. So we would encourage...
No, like seriously?
Yes, I'm very serious. Feeding bottles, like in apartments where you have 200 people, those are the things we see. So when we are customizing, because when you bring in a technology from the developed world, as an engineer, you need to customize it to your local problems.
Because the developed world already assumes that you separate your waste.
Yes, so
you don't put diapers in there.
Yeah, so again, when adapting technology as a Kenyan engineer or African engineer, you don't just pick it as it is.
No, you can't.
You have to come and do a bit of modification and redesigning to suit our problems. Another problem is power fluctuations. Like the system is running, it goes off, so it never gets to full treatment.
Okay.
So we have to advise our clients to have backup generator, adapt green energy like solar or wind to back it up.
To back it up.
Yeah, so what I would encourage Kenyans is if they can think, like, don't just throw everything into the septic. Because I think when you have some empty bottle of chemical or something, people just think dump it into the drainage and it goes to the septic. We need to separate them so that if we were to recycle and we had different bins, it would be easy to pick this bin is for plastic waste and take it to a plastic recycling.
Yeah, exactly.
This is water, sewage with fecal matter only comes to our system, and we are able to get everything back to clean water. So now what happens is after 5 years, in the tank where we hold the we call them non-biodegradables because they cannot be degraded.
There's nothing you can do with
so
them.
those have to be removed with again the honeysuckers after 5 years and taken to the landfill.
Okay.
Because those is not part
There's
of the
nothing
water.
you can do about
because
it,
when we say we are turning sewage to water, we are reusing that water that you used to flush, to shower, to cook, to wash things in the
to
kitchen.
wash, yes,
we
do
get
laundry.
it back
Yes.
to clean, reusable water.
Fantastic.
So that's what it takes.
You know, and I said this to you off camera, and I need to say it again. There are people who will watch and be fascinated by what you do, and they will instantly call you because they want it for their
Homes.
for their homes, they want it for their institutions, they want it. What I want my conversation for you to mark is when a true climate warrior sat on my couch. Because a lot of people still don't understand that we have a planet that is heaving.
Yes.
And every person who comes around who says, this is my part to help save this planet, for me is a true hero, and you are mine.
Thank you for
and
that.
you have watched as many of these episodes I've done. You're my first true hero. And there are people who will be upset, not understanding, but those who get it and understand that we have nowhere to go, this is it.
Yes.
And the fact that I said before, and I'll say this again, conflict in the future will be around resources. And the first one
Is
will be
water.
water.
Yes.
I was blessed to meet you that day, and I met very many people that day at Vivo as we were trying on lipstick, and your daughter wanted to know why she can't have one. How old is she?
She's 6 years.
Hey, we told very many stories, but I was meant to meet you.
Thank you.
I was meant to meet you. You're amazing. Don't stop. And then you will come home and check out our system.
Exactly.
Please.
You be my client, join the green movement, the eco-green
By the way,
movement.
I have no jokes about doing my small part to make sure we can continue to enjoy it. Because where are we going?
Yeah, and it's very closely related to health, if I could highlight
Yes.
that. Whatever we throw out there, sewage, first of all, because when it goes to the rivers, we may think it's the people downstream in a river in Yatta. Even you in Nairobi, who gets your water from Dakaine? Somehow, a distributor will take the sewage there and bring it back to you.
Imagine.
So it's very closely related to the cancer issues you're seeing. You've seen the toxic flow on nation media. They've been highlighting it. So we need to really take it up as a national disaster and start doing something about it, because it's linked to our health. Sanitation-related diseases.
I'm going to start with my home.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'll be glad to serve you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe.